Got another Nintendo 3DS from eBay. This one seems to have some screen damage, so I'm going to do a how to replace the top and the bottom screen. Alright, per the eBay listing, it doesn't have any power, so let's go ahead and put some power to it and see what happens. Got an orange light. Power there. Oh, this is busted. Busted screen. Busted screen. 2 broken screens. There we go. Do we have any audio? Here, let me see if the touch works. Okay. Digitizer's working. LCD and the bottom's broken, LCD and the top's broken. So this is going to be a how to replace both screens, top and bottom. Alright, I'm going to start with the disassembly of the device. You got 2 Phillips screws right here. I'm just gonna pop this back piece off. Something to note real quick. If you have memory, please remove it. SD card right here. We're gonna get that off. And then you're gonna remove the battery, get that out of the way. Now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Phillips screws right here, and then 2 more below this, and then 1 more right here. So let's go ahead and remove those. Now we're just gonna pop this back, get the memory card, SD card out of here. Pop the memory card back. Be careful. You got your right and left LNR ribbon cables here. You don't want to rip those off. Alright, now we're at the guts of the machine. We got camera, blacklight, and LCD screen cable here. Your analog stick. I believe this is the volume control. Touch screen and bottom screen ribbon cable right here. Microphone, and then your Wi-Fi module. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Get this out of the way. I leave mine hanging. I don't unplug it just so I don't lose it. But if you don't want to leave something hanging that you might be afraid that you'll rip it, it's fine. Two more Phillips screws right here that hold the analog stick. Just take those out. Those are long screws, so keep them together because they're long screws to hold that. They're not the same length as the others. What I do is I'll kind of start bundling everything up. I got a little tray here, and I start bundling everything up based off what it is, just to keep it all united. Alright, I'm going to remove the volume button and the analog stick. You want to keep the little gasket that comes with it. Don't lose that, because that keeps dust from getting up in there. Let's go ahead and take these ribbon cables out. Be careful with these cables, they're very easy to rip. Granted, we have a damaged screen, but still want to be careful with them. All right, after we removed all of those, there's one more ribbon cable back here that we can't reach just yet. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 holding your D-pad, or the buttons here, D-pads on this side. 4 more on this side holding the D-pad, and 2 more here holding the bottom screen, start and select and menu buttons down here. And let's go ahead and get these out of the way on the side, because they'll fall out once you flip it upside down. Okay, now you can just pick it up. And remember, there's one more ribbon cable. It's part of the top screen right here. We're gonna wanna get this one out as well. And now your motherboard's free. And now we have the first of the two, which is the easier of the two to replace, which is the bottom. But we're gonna remove it, but we're not gonna put in the new one just yet. So to remove it, what I do is first go ahead and get these buttons out of the way, because everything's gonna fall out once you flip it upside down. This is a good way of just a little bit of house cleaning. Get all these buttons out of the way. Plus, I'm gonna change, so if you see right here, this is bent out, and try to bend it back in, but if I can't, I have one of these mid frames, and I'll just swap it out. Like this. These buttons are fine, these aren't going to fall out. Now, if this wasn't broken and you were going to use that, you might be able to leave like this bottom part in and these things in. They tend to not fall out. This one tends to fall out sometimes. So you just kind of have to play by ear. Okay, so what I do to get the bottom screen out is I'm going to kind of push it. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing it, and I'm only doing this because this bottom screen's broken, so I'm not afraid of damaging it. So I'm just kind of pushing it with my fingers and unsticking it from the bottom part. Now, one thing I do need to salvage from this is going to be the touch portion. So this has 2 pieces, and we'll take a look at that later. You have the LCD and backlight, which is this part here, and then you have the top portion, which is the touch digitizer, so it's separate. I can take this off and put it on the other screen. I'm gonna put this to the side for now, because we're gonna focus on the hardest part of the whole process, which is getting to the top screen. All right, let's see. Okay, so the next thing, first let's get this back plate protector off. Okay, so you got the back of the 3DS exposed. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4 underneath these little rubber protectors. You got screws that hold the back screen in place. Let's go ahead and just get these out. With that out of the way, I can push this piece back and loosen it out. Okay, you're gonna want to find something that you can use to start prying these two plastic pieces off. Once the back part's kind of loose, just kind of pop that off. I think this piece, I'd have to look at the recording, but I'm pretty sure it had that, and I think it flew out when I popped it open, but it's okay, I got more. Put that to the side. That's why you want to be really careful when you're popping things open. You don't want things flying. These are small pieces and they can go flying across the room, real hard to find. Okay, so on this 3D SXL only has one screw, not like the new 3D XL, which has screws on both sides. So just one on this side that holds the 3DS mechanism. And put that to this, get that screw out, and then that'll release this. Be very careful. The power and the power cables for the volume speakers can break. These things can pop off, and you got to solder them on again, and it's a pain in the butt. So I'm gonna take it all off in one go, and it's got a little bit of adhesive here, holding the camera in place, and this as well. Get that out of the way, because that all gets in the way when you're trying to replace the screen. But we're not at the hardest part of the whole thing yet. The hardest part's coming up. Part where a lot of people give up because it's just a pain in the butt. Okay, you got two ribbon cables here. We're gonna release these. This is for the speaker mechanism. Okay, we more or less have this semi-loose. Okay, now we're gonna open it up again. Oh, here it is. See, it flew away. Put it right here. Okay. Try to keep everything as organized as possible. So there is, the way this works is it has a lock here that moves left and right now it's locked into the lock position, which is left. You want to move it to the right, but in order to get to that position, you have to, it took me forever to figure this out, you have to kind of put it to this position, the last click closed, or you can push it out. But in order to do that, you have to get this plastic piece out first to expose the little plastic piece that you can push the cylinder in and out. So this, it's a little tricky. Kind of just have to get fine tip, something with a fine tip, and just kind of push it in there until eventually you have a grip to get it out. All right, so in order to get to get this hinge mechanism released, what you got to do is you got to open it. So there's a white piece, and I don't know if you can see it. I'll probably try to zoom in. There's a little white plastic piece in there, and the way to get it is you got to open the hinge all the way to the last click, and then you're going to want to get something really fine pointed, and you're going to want to grab that white piece, that piece of plastic, and then you're just going to want to kind of push it to the side. And that will allow this hinge contraption to be released. Okay, so now I think I can get this piece out now. Okay. You kind of have to, let me explain this. So it's in the hole. You push that piece in, it switches into the unlock motion, and all of a sudden it doesn't have any more force. And then you just kind of pick this side and you kind of bend it a little bit. It's plastic, so you can bend it and kind of disengage it, and now it's off the hinge. Now that it's out of the hinge, you can get these 3 ribbon cables. Be careful, because we still need the camera cable, so you don't want to break these. And then just kind of slid them in this little indentation right here. You can slide them in here. So you're gonna pop this to the side, and you're just gonna kind of guide them into this little slit where you can kind of put them in there. Wi-Fi out of the way, and now I just want to shimmy these ribbon cables. Get one more. That doesn't want to come out. There we go. Okay, this is free. Okay, now you got the top screen completely separated from the bottom. And now the bottom is just that plastic shell. Hardest part of the whole thing. See if I can get this in camera. Okay, you got a Wi-Fi and 3 cables looped through a metal piece here and through this plastic piece here that are unwind to this top part here. So the way to do it is you got to twist it real tight and push it through that little metal hole or the plastic hole. Well, you got to do it through both. So now this is why I wanted to start getting the top part all disassembled, because you're gonna want to push the screen out as well. And on this one, let's do it with this. Put a little force here. Just try to get the adhesive to loosen up a little bit. Okay, there we go. Same thing. I'm pushing with my fingers, and I'm pushing and I'm kind of unsticking that adhesive that the screen has. Remember, just like at the bottom, you got the LCD that we're replacing that's broken, but the top part is the screen. There's no digitizer on this. The top part is a screen protector that Nintendo places that has color, depending on what color it is. There. So you just want to keep. We'll swap that over because the screen won't have that. New screen won't have that. Okay. So now that this screen is loose, comes the hardest part of the whole project, and that is to twist this through this little hole. And you'll understand what I mean, because this will probably take me a couple tries. And I've done a bunch of these and it's still a pain in the butt. So I'm twisting, actually, more or less, that's what you want to do. You want to twist and then push them through the metal ring, like so. Look at that. Beautiful. And now the screen's loose with the volume button, but let's separate it. You notice off the bat they don't look the same, and it's not because This is a funky version of that. It's because this on top, so this is a screen, and on top of it goes this black frame, which is the plastic protector that Nintendo places on all of these. If I don't transfer this over, it doesn't have the adhesive, the seal on that to prevent dust from getting onto the screen, and also it's gonna have like a spacing issue, so you want to swap it over. So let's go ahead and pry this off. Got my X-Acto knife, and I'm just gonna find me a nice little corner here, and I'm gonna slide it in there. Just gonna get me a little section here to get it going, and then I'm gonna use the plastic spudger and go back in it. Pinch it off. Can I do it with this? Oh, this is too soft. There we go. I'm gonna do one of these. What I'm doing is I'm just gonna go around the whole thing, separating it from the broken screen. Perfect. Now it looks the same. Look at that. Yeah. Now they look like the same screen. Okay. Broken screen. I'm gonna put that someplace else for now. And I want to clean this. It's got a lot of fingerprints on it. And it's not going to be perfect at all. And then the way to line this up is placing it here. We're going to peel screen protector here. You're going to want to place it. Put a little bit of force on it, and voila. It ain't going to be perfect, because as much as you want to prevent any dust from getting in between the two screens, it is just not possible. But you can do a decent enough job. After trying your best to clean it, and you have the two screens attached, so now we want to collect our, what am I trying to say here? Put everything back together. There we go. What I like to do is I like to put a little bit of tape on these speakers so they don't go flying, because everything's still kind of loose. Okay, so let's get all these together. How to do that off camera, it is really hard. So anyways, you twist them back. I found it easier twisting them and then threading the Bluetooth cable after the fact. So let's go ahead and put where'd you go? There's that. These should have been a filter that probably went flying when I was. Here it is. Okay. We'll put that. One of these. And the power, the volume. And then these guys. All right, with all that done, let's see if I can bend this back in place. What fell? This fell. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. Let's go ahead and remove this mechanism just to give it a little bit more force on the plastic. Let's remove the support. And I really want to just bend this as much as I can. Let's get this out of the way real quick. All right. Gonna want to do here is put in the cables through the little slit that's in that. There we go. And then you just gently move it. Oh man, you know what I forgot to do something. Jump the gun. I jumped the gun. Here you are. Okay, I gotta put this metal piece back on. It's part of the hinge. Everything goes through here. And then once again, I gotta roly-poly these through that. Shouldn't be too difficult because I can leverage the rigidness of the cable of the metal piece, the flexibility of the cable. One, it just doesn't want to cross over. Perfect. Okay, got that there. Let's loosen these a little bit. They're really wound up. Okay. How was this? Okay. Just want them to kind of poke through these slivers. poking? Or do I have one? No, one's not poking out. Poking through. There we go. Come on. What's going on? Why are you so tight? Okay, let's try this again. Alright, and then just kind of push it in there. And then pop this back. Now you have the bottom piece, but I don't want to tighten it just yet because I want to take a look at these cables. Okay, they should line up. Make sure I got the order right. Because if it doesn't, then I gotta do this all over again. So that cable, does it line up with this guy? Okay, well, that was a hell of a lot of work. Had my cables inverse, I had to do it all over again. Okay, so now we have this all attached. Alright, let's continue assembling this. So we gotta fold this all the way back like this. And push this cylinder back. Is it all the way back? Let me see. I don't remember. Yeah. So that goes all the way back. Alright, same process as before. I'm going to move the touch digitizer over to this LCD screen. And what I'm going to do is get more light. Alright, so I'm going to move this over to that. Get an X-Acto knife. Okay, same concept as the top. You want to get the case itself, put the digitizer in the hole. And is this, no, this top part goes up. Put it in the hole, and then remove that and place this like so. let's close it real quick. Since I removed that screen protector, it is practically a brand new digitizer. Normally I'm not a big fan of screen protectors on stuff, but on a toy that a kid uses with the dirty fingers, yes, all the way. Yes, please put them on your kids' stuff, Switch, 3DS, whatever. We'll save you having to do more work having to get that stuff replaced after the fact. Unfortunately, kids do not take care of screens. Alright, that looks good. Flip this back. Okay, I'm gonna get this Wi-Fi cable and I'm gonna route it in its little channel. It's got a little channel right here. Okay, and now we just put these cables back in their spot. Well, there you have it. Both screens are now fully functioning. Remember, just because it's broken doesn't mean it's trash. See you guys in the next video.